Haha.
Hey, there's the yellow light. Woo! And we're live. Welcome, everyone, to Cocktail Hour's spectacular holiday episode. I'm Andy.
And I'm Sherry.
This is Colette Moody.
Woo! Gang is all here. Y'all
Finally.
feeling spectacular today?
I'm feeling a little giddy after, the last half hour of
Yeah, the barrage of technical issues that have, at least for the moment, been overcome.
Mostly.
Oh
Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. I'm sure.
Maybe they are the ghosts. Maybe they're the ghosts of Christmas present.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe this is punishment for all of the horror books and stuff we've done in the past for the holiday show.
Oh my God, right?
It's fun that you say Christmas present because now I picture, the big spirit, and then we point to his robes and we say, who are those gaunt, sickly looking children? And he says, this boy is slow internet access, and this girl is no installed driver. Beware.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is freaking awesome. And so now you know what we're suffering with. Oh my God. Slow broadband and apparently a driver that decided to go poof like it's a magic show.
No, actually, my issue was I wasn't using Chrome. Apparently, nothing in Google is allowed unless you use Chrome and pledge fealty to the Chrome gods.
I wonder if this has anything to do with net neutrality. I don't know. Maybe you guys are being hit.
Man,
I know, right?
That was quick.
Beginning to the end. Fuck, man. So anyway, so we decided to do a little departure from our usual gloom and doom and murder for the holiday show. And we actually decided to do a traditional Christmas story. Can you imagine?
But it's not like there aren't ghosts and death in this story, because there's plenty of that.
Yep, there's still plenty of doom and gloom. But there's
but it's not a Christmas story. Usually it's not, we don't focus on Christmas stories. So this is a little bit different. I'm kind of proud of us for, getting out of our usual.
Well, that one with the gross dude who lived in Christmas land, that was Christmassy.
That was totally Christmassy.
Oh, you guys are talking about Nosferatu?
Yes.
Yes.
That was a good story, I gotta say. But today we're actually, oh God. Actually, today we're going to talk about Charles Dickens' Christmas Carol, which is a classic. Yeah,
we're highbrow here, baby.
So I listened to it on audiobook. What about you guys?
Yep. Yeah, I think we all listened to the what I think personally is the best possible narrator for this story.
Tim Curry. He was awesome.
So good.
Yeah. And thank you, Audible, for giving that out free a couple of years ago, because I did download it, and this is the first time I actually listened to it all the way through. But he did a remarkable job.
Mm-hmm. He's just
I love Tim Curry.
Voice. Just the perfect.
Yeah.
So he had a stroke, right? And he's not doing any. Is he not doing any more audiobooks, I'm assuming?
Nobody threw him in the Hudson yet? No.
I don't know. Did you check Wikipedia?
I did not check Wikipedia. I should have.
You totally should have, yes.
And if you guys wonder where all that came from, go to our site and do a little search for this. We reviewed The Alienist by Caleb Carr, and that's where this whole story came from, about the Hudson, and you'll enjoy it.
I don't even remember what the Wikipedia story was about. I just remember
it was about Caleb Carr's dad murdering somebody with Jack Kerouac or some shit.
That's right.
Wasn't Jack asked to help dispose of the body or something?
Yeah, I just remember that you shared that, and I was like, what the hell is that about? And you were like, oh, it's right here on Wikipedia. I was like, yeah, well, everything on Wikipedia is true. So, yeah.
So anyway, that's where all that started. So go back and listen to that show. You'll really enjoy it.
I believe that was our very first holiday show with Colette, and which
Oh.
that kicked off the tradition of murder and mayhem and cannibalism.
Cannibalism, yes.
Well, so when does that show start? Because maybe next year we can watch the series and then come back and talk about the show.
Mm-hmm.
I put it's in January, I believe. I put a calendar appointment on my phone to make sure I DVR'd it. Hold on, I will tell you when it comes on.
Okay.
By
the way, what's everybody drinking?
I have nothing.
Oh.
I had some hot chocolate with marshmallows earlier, and I'm gonna partake in a bit.
Okay. I am drinking sort of a variation on that recipe I sent you, Andy.
Oh, okay.
On the rummer.
Right. Yep. That was delicious.
I do. Is that what you're drinking as well?
No, I didn't. I didn't get to the liquor store. I didn't have the Apricot Brandy, and I didn't have light rum. So I needed to get 2 items. I mean, I could do shots.
Oh, wow.
So you're not drinking anything right now either?
No, but I can quickly zip over to the tree and grab that bottle and bring it back and just whoop, take it back. Just saying.
There you go. So Colette, send me that recipe too.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, so it is basically, hang on, I have it up in another browser because whatever, Google. Yeah, so it is called a rummer. It is, I had not had it before until I went to a tavern in Colonial Williamsburg, I don't know, maybe a month ago. And so it is dark rum, light rum, apricot brandy, and peach schnapps. So I do not have peach schnapps, nor will I, because peach schnapps is just disgusting. So
I'm pretty sure I have that. I don't think I have any apricot. What is apricot? What brandy?
Apricot brandy.
Yeah, I don't have that.
So
Hold on a second. Let me put that on there. Put it back up, Andy. Gorgeous. That is such a gorgeous bottle. And for folks that don't know, Colette gifted Andy and I with that gorgeous bottle of dark rum.
Virginia rum.
Yeah, I haven't even put mine in the cabinet yet because it's so pretty. I just have it sitting on the counter.
It's gorgeous for sure. I'm taking all the stuff off now.
Okay.
I'm gonna smell it.
Yeah, so instead of well, there you go. Instead of the peach schnapps, which, I mean, I just feel like peaches are an abomination.
Along with raisins?
Yeah. They have no place in my world. So what I ended up doing at Laura's suggestion was I just used some of the juice from the whiskey-soaked cherries.
Oh.
Yeah. So... But this is really strong, man, because there's nothing else. There's nothing in it but like 5 ounces of liquor. See, look how pretty.
It's gorgeous. Hold on.
It's got a great color. It's got a... Now, I can't tell you what this is. Oak cast. I don't have a clue. But it smells really good.
Yeah, I don't know that... I would have to look at the bottle as far as casks because it's a rum, so I don't know that they're doing anything fancy with aging it in casks or not.
That is the smoothest rum I have ever drank. Ever.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, yay.
Thank you. Very good choice.
I'll be busting mine open this evening then.
I mean, you can go bust it open now if you want, since this has become a show about liquor.
It has. Well, I mean, it's been a long time since we've actually focused on liquor.
That's true.
On the cocktail hour.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We might want to change that in 2018.
We might, we might.
Yeah, I feel like 2017 has been pretty awful. So I probably did not drink as much as I could have.
I've been drinking much more than I should have, but But in the evenings to dull everything that happened during the day. But I think for 2018, I think we should make a commitment to go back to doing a specific cocktail for each show. I think we should do that again.
I wholeheartedly agree. What about you, Colette?
Sure, absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah, I mean, this just felt like sort of a drink of the era. Like I don't know how much peach schnapps they were drinking back in Dickens's London, but you know,
yeah,
they gave it to me at the tavern as some sort of 18th century drink. So you know, they must have had something similar.
They probably had like
they probably had like a peach brandy or something. I mean, those folks made brandy out of everything.
Yeah.
Humans.
Oh God, come on now.
I'm sorry,
this is damn good. I can just drink it straight.
Maybe in the Whitechapel district. They made brandy out of prostitutes.
Oh, you are too much.
Under the small batch label.
Yes, exactly.
By the way, the alienist on TNT.
Oh, you were just getting that now?
No, I was waiting to get. Yeah.
Okay.
20 seconds.
Okay.
I already said that twice.
Yeah, she did actually.
Yeah.
But good. Fine. Okay, so we're all on the same page now.
Yep.
And I do get TNT through Sling. I have to say, so we got rid of cable a while ago, and because football season, we had to get something that would allow for both the NFL Network and ESPN, and you can't get both of them in one package. So we had to get Sling and get the whole big package. And I have to say, for the most part, Sling TV sucks ass. It's awful.
Damn.
But it was cheaper than anything else. So there you go. But
why is it bad?
It has the latency. We have latency issues. We have like we were trying to watch the Bronco game on Thursday night. And, we got all the pregame stuff. And as soon as the game starts, it cuts out and says, oh, sorry, we don't have the rights to this. So too bad. So then we just went over to Amazon because they have some of the Thursday night games through Amazon Prime. So luckily we were able to see it then. But yeah, I don't know. And there's just, I don't care for it. I can't watch it on the internet unless I go to an incognito window. And I contacted the customer service. I'm like, I can't watch this. And they're like, oh, well, go to an incognito window. I go, fine. But it's just kind of a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
For $40 a month, I think I would have better luck with it. So.
Wow. You sure you're not going to go back to cable?
No, I'm positive I'm not going to go back to cable because that's the only thing that we watch, is just football. And really, it's only 2 nights a week because we have an antenna that works great with our TV for local channels. So
there you go.
Now with the Alienist coming, we're going to hold on to it at least until that first episode. I want to watch, probably a couple episodes before I decide. But if it's not all that in a bag of chips, then we'll just get rid of Sling until next football season.
Yeah, I usually give a new show 3 episodes unless the first episode is so very, very bad. But it takes a while for the characters, the actors and actresses to gel or to meld together, right?
Yeah, but I mean, it takes even longer really for, I don't know. I feel like you have to give them a season.
Oh no, hell no.
Because it's like the characters aren't well defined yet, and the actors haven't really gotten a feel for who they are. But most importantly, the writers. Like the writers have not settled into, because I mean, if you look at season 1 of Buffy, it was terrible.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just bad.
Yeah, but everybody kept talking about how great the 100 is, and I think I watched maybe 2-3 episodes, and I just roll in my eyes. Every bit of dialogue, I just roll my eyes and go, Who wrote that? Somebody's 15-year-old cousin? What the hell?
I made it into about 20 minutes of it and turned it off immediately. Like, oh man, why can't I like this? Because the writing is shit.
It's because they did the obvious stupid things, especially these scientists make these choices and you're going, what the living fuck, really? But anyway, but we're getting off topic, man.
Yeah, we haven't talked about Dickens at all.
We have not.
We haven't talked about Dickens at all. But I think it might be really, really cool if we started this discussion with that tweet you put up on your wall.
Yeah.
Sherry, I love that tweet. It couldn't have come at a better time. American politics, net neutrality, all this other shit that's going on. You know, the things the CDC can't use in their reports, the words you can't use. So when I saw this tweet, I just got the biggest stupefied grin that you've ever seen. Thank God nobody saw it. So what does it say, Sherry?
I don't know. It said something about how
Oh, I thought you pulled it up. You didn't pull it up?
No, I forgot about it. Hold on. Let me see. I stole it from somebody else. So.
Well, that's why I was actually talking. I was doing filler for you. I thought you were looking for it.
No, I thought maybe you just had it there. And
oh, God, my cues are off, y'all. My cues are off. At Christmas, here's the quote. It's from Red Durkin on Twitter. And the quote is, "A Christmas Carol is the heartwarming tale of how rich people must be supernaturally terrorized into sharing."
Yeah, that is absolutely true.
Yes.
That is absolutely true.
Well, I can only hope that that every Republican member of the House and Senate and the House is visited by the ghost of Christmas future soon, because fucking hell, man.
I know, right? So I found to start talking about the novel. You know, I expected it to be a little bit more like have a lot of details that you don't see on everybody's rendition of A Christmas Carol, you know, through film, you know, television, that kind of thing. But there wasn't really a lot of difference.
No, I mean, there are like a few trips, right, that the spirits take them on. There's some people that you see that don't ever seem to make it into a film adaptation. But I mean, when you figure that this was a 3.5-hour audiobook and you're turning it into a 2-hour movie, there's really not that much that you need to cut out. I mean, it's just a novella. I mean, and for Dickens, who is, you know, he is not a man of few words. His regular novels have 2 parts usually, you know, and they're both 300 some pages long. So, I mean, this is like a tiny short. This is almost like a poem for him.
Yeah,
it's like he's clearing his throat. Yeah,
you know. But I did one of the things that really stood out to me was I really loved his descriptions of, like, when he's describing the lighthouse. Like, I just had to sit back and just listen to that. He was talking about the seaweed on it. It was just they were so clear. They were just, you know, it really just painted such a wonderful, dark image in my head, you know. And going back again to Tim Curry, I feel like his narration made it just incredibly accessible. You know, I didn't get hung up on the language so much, like the specific words necessarily. You know, the outdated terms and things like that, or just Britishisms and things.
You know, there were a couple that made me giggle though. Yeah, just how language changes. There was at one point where someone is talking about their hands, and he refers to them as his horny hands, and I was like,
you're 12, yeah.
Because exactly. I'm a perpetual 6th grader, and there was one point where I jotted it down where he said, he had become so gay, and I was like, yeah.
I can't even imagine. That must have been fun watching you read it. Oh my God. You know, I've watched several different renditions of A Christmas Carol.
And there's probably 100 that you didn't see.
Yeah,
I mean, everybody
right.
in the world has done a version of this story.
Isn't that the truth? My brother turned me on to the Disney version that's animated, where Jim Carrey plays the part of Scrooge. And of course, I had to roll my eyes when I heard Jim Carrey. So he's like, no, you'll like it. And so I bought it off of Amazon, and we watched it. We streamed it outside. And I was like, holy crap, they did a really good job with this. And Jim Carrey did a great job.
So how close to the story is it? Because I remember when that came out, and I was seeing the commercials on TV, and I was like, this looks like ridiculous bullshit that never happened in the book.
There were a few scenes of ridiculous bullshit. I am not going to lie to you.
At some point, doesn't he get pulled through the air and slides down a rooftop? And I'm like, what the hell is this? What is? Yeah. So like, I don't need
CNN, but it was entertaining.
Jim Carreyized version of Ebenezer Scrooge. Honestly, I don't need the Jim Carreyized version of anything.
I know. I don't particularly like Jim Carrey, but you know, there it is. It actually was very entertaining. It was surprised me, but my expectation was really low. So they could have played into it.
Yeah, that's probably. I'm sure that had something to do with it.
My favorite version is Scrooged
with Bill Murray.
Yeah.
I don't even think I've seen that all the way through.
I've never seen it.
We watch it every year. I love that movie. I mean,
holiday staple, right?
Yeah, that and
Christmas Vacation.
Yeah, those are the two. And now 2 years ago we started watching Elf, which I had never seen before. So
yeah, I've never seen that either.
It was really, I had super low expectations. I had actually gotten it for free from Google Play, and never bothered to watch it, but I will snap up everything that I find that's free. So as soon as they sent me an email and said, hey, have this movie, I'm like, I'm taking it, but I'm never going to watch it. So eventually I did. It was very cute. It was funny. It was good. I enjoyed it a lot.
Is it just me? I might have missed it because I listened to the audiobook to and from work. So it would be like 20 minutes on, then 9 hours back, then 20 minutes on. So I might have missed it, but why did it take Marley? Was his chains too heavy? Why did it take Marley so damn long to get in touch with Scrooge? 7 years, remember? 7 years. You said you wore the chains. Your chains are basically as long as mine are now, back when I died. And now your chains are crazy. Why did it take that bastard 7 years? Did they ever?
It may be part of the, the astral, after you die, time's not the same. Or maybe he just didn't give a shit.
And there was nothing that was communicated about, I've been trying to get in touch with you, you bastard, and you never answer the door. Yeah, I mean, there was none of that. I mean, just basically, it reached a point, like his dickishness reached a point where you brought the dead back, dude. I mean, how big a dick do you need to be when the dead come back and they're like, stop being a dick. Oh my God.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah.
that must be it.
I know, I was listening to it going, 7 years. Jesus, Mary and Joseph, baby Jesus even. 7 years? What was he having at the bar in Shanghai? What the hell was he? What the hell going on?
I mean, he's been dead. Cut the guy some slack, man.
He's been hauling those chains around, like you said. Maybe his chains are too heavy.
Although, I love the image of him unfastening, the neckerchief or whatever, and his jaw just drops. His lower jaw just drops onto his chest. That is amazing. But it is remarkable to me that Ebenezer Scrooge is like, whatever, dead guy, just get out. Like, I don't have time for this, and I don't want to see your stupid spirits, and whatever. Come on.
But like you said, you could be a piece of beef that I ate,
Yeah.
or
Yes, you could be something lodged, in my colon in a most important way.
Lodged in my colon. Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, again, it takes a certain level of dickishness to brush off the supernatural and just be like, shut up, blah blah blah, come in here with your yammering death,
your jaw dropping, literally.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God.
One of the things that I liked. Go ahead, Andy.
No, go ahead. I was just going to talk about the whole Marley thing, but go ahead. We can go back to Marley. What were you going to say?
I was going to say that I liked how the ghost would throw his words right back in his face.
Yes.
He's like, oh, I wish I would have done something differently, whatever. He's like, yeah, but aren't there some workhouses someplace? Like, damn.
Well, it's funny because I told my brother last year, because my brother is like a diehard Republican. And it was kind of like we had like the first non-heated political discussion of our lives, really, because he was like, holy crap, so my candidate's Trump. I don't know what the hell. I can't vote for that guy. And I was like, okay, well, let's have a conversation. But I was like, well, I'm pretty excited about your party's new slogan. Are there no workhouses? Are there no prisons? So we'll see if that works out for you guys. And I still feel exactly the same today, that is basically the slogan of the Republican Party. Screw the poor. Are there no workhouses? Are there no prisons? I'm sure there's a place that we can throw you people to just get you out of our face.
Yeah.
Yep. You should have a bumper sticker made of that. That would be great, with like the Republican elephant, and then are there no workhouses? Are there no prisons? You're Scrooge.
You may have to invest in a tire company though, just so you know.
Or we could come up with an exciting ticket for the 2020 election. Maybe it could be like Voldemort Scrooge 2020. Are there no workhouses? Are there no prisons?
Oh my God, that's awesome. It's time for you to brush off your cafe press store.
Maybe,
I'm telling you. Oh, speaking of stores, Andy, make a pitch. We need money.
Oh yeah, for those of you listening, we would appreciate some donations. It's time to pay the man for the
piper.
What?
We have to pay the piper.
We gotta pay that piper, man. We do. We gotta pay it. So if you guys have a little bit extra left over for Christmas, or just feeling a little giving, we would really appreciate the help. And I believe there's a donate button on our site.
I can't get the button thing to work anymore, but on the cocktailhour.us site, on the right hand side, there's a URL or a little link, a thing that you can copy and paste into your browser. It's for PayPal. We have to pay hosting and our domain renewals. Those are all due now. And if you could help out, that would be awesome. We'd appreciate it.
Yep, we sure would.
Yep, and then we can also, if there's anything left over, we can start doing some giveaways again. We give away a copy of Tim Curry doing A Christmas Carol.
Why not? So yeah, please help us out.
Yep.
All right.
I posted the URL to that drink recipe. So.
Yes, I see that. Yes, I will look at it.
Okay.
So back to Marley.
What the hell was I going to say about Marley? There's something else. Damn.
See, that's why you should have went first.
It'll come back at some point.
I know what it was. It was the make promises that you can't keep. You're making promises way out, and yet, overpromise and underdeliver. No, I'm kidding. No, wait, what the hell? See what that rum's doing to me, y'all? I can't even think. Damn it, can't.
How much have you had?
Well, I'm on 1.5 shots now.
Oh, okay.
You filled up. I didn't even notice you filling up again.
I'm like that. No. Okay, so here's where I was going. I'm trying to be cute and it ain't working. So Marley said you're going to be visited by 3 spirits over 3 days, basically, right?
No,
Yes.
they were like back to back, though, weren't they?
Yeah, but
Right, they were back to back.
Right, but Marley tells him that it's going to be 3 spirits over 3 days, and that the first night they're going to come at 1, and then the next night they're going to come at 2, and then the next night they're going to come at 3. So that's why Scrooge is so surprised at the end that when he asks the boy, "What day is it?" and he tells him it's Christmas, he's like, "Holy crap, they did it all in one night."
Yep. So my question here is, did not Marley continue the pattern of dickishness too? Does he get an extra couple of change for that lie?
No, I don't think so.
Don't think so?
Because, I mean, when you're lying to a dick, does anybody care?
Good point.
Yeah, it's like if a tree falls in a forest of dicks. Does it make a sound? And the answer's no.
There you go. You have your answer.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, are we supposed to think that the thing that's kind of interesting to me about this story is that I feel like a lot of people have tried to sort of turn this into a Christian parable, but considering it is a ghost story and it is a morality play, it is remarkable to me that there really is no sort of religion in this, right? I mean, it's almost a secular ghost story.
Yeah, besides
right.
Christmas caroling.
But I mean,
yeah,
there's no talk about God, and I mean, it's like if you were to go and look at It's a Wonderful Life, I mean,
you've got
it starts off with angels up in heaven, and it's very Christian.
Yeah, this one, the afterlife is just he's a ghost. There's no discussion of heaven or hell or anything. It's just these are the chains that you're going to be hauling around. You're right. Yeah, you're right. Because the whole time I was listening, there was nothing outside of, I think they were singing God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen or something like that.
Right, but I mean, it's Christmas, so people would sing Christmas carols, and I didn't interpret that as anything necessarily religious.
Well, they say Merry Christmas all the damn time, well, except for Scrooge. But people were saying Merry Christmas after conversations or before, like the salutation.
Yeah, but there was no discussion of what Christmas stood for.
It's more like
it was
a
just
general
a holiday. Yeah, it was just like a holiday, and that was it. Yeah. I 100% agree. There was, it really is. I mean, it's just like you said, it's a ghost story dealing with morality, but no religion at all.
And maybe that's part of the reason why it has been adapted a kabillion times, because it is sort of a secular morality play that just happens to do with Christmas. So. Yeah.
And, it's always a feel-good at the end to know that you can be redeemed. And even if you're old and crotchety and got all the money in the world, you can still be a good person at the end.
That's right. That's why I'm waiting until close to the end.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Well, I will tell you something. I was surprised when we got to the scene where, he sticks his head out the window and asks the kid what day it is. I would have bet you $1,000 that he always tells the kid to go and find the butcher shop that has the giant goose in the window. And I was like, holy crap, it's a turkey? Has it always been a turkey?
I think it was always a turkey. I think Cratchit's family could only afford a goose. And that's where you get the goose idea.
Is that where
I don't think so? I'm thinking the same thing. I think it's always go get the goose.
Yeah, the giant goose.
Yeah. Well, now we're all going to have to watch. And anybody who's listening, feel free to post a comment on before you look it up. On whether you think it's a turkey or a goose.
I am trying to think of what my favorite version of this is, and I am not sure. I mean, I like the super old, like 1934-ish version with Alistair Sims. I mean, I just
Yes.
like how old that is.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I
I
have
see
to say
that
that I
too.
never liked the musical version, and I love musicals, but what the hell?
I didn't even know there was a musical.
Yeah, I
There
don't think
is,
I've
yeah,
seen
there's
that.
a color musical version that I feel like came out in the 60s.
Ew.
But it just doesn't really have any good songs. And, you know, the notion that Scrooge is going to be jumping around in his nightshirt and singing and dancing just kind of didn't really work for me.
Bah humbug,
Yeah,
bitches.
yeah.
Yeah, no,
we
I'm glad I missed that one.
we could do that. Maybe that's what we do for next year. Is we perform. Just kidding. Just kidding. No.
Well, then we're going to need more rum.
We're gonna need a
A
lot
lot
more.
more room. Holy shit.
All right. Well, I know we started late, but I don't know. You want to wrap
Well, there's
it
only
up?
so much you can say about this particular book, since it's a novella, and it's cherished story for, generations.
I'm
Well-
really happy that we listened to this, though.
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's so much more than I even thought that I would. I just really liked it. I think this is. I think I liked it more than I liked it the last time. I just felt myself really getting into the description and his voice, and
Yeah.
I'm glad
Yeah,
we
I
did.
feel like it works well because Dickens is an excellent writer. He's very
Mhm.
descriptive.
He is.
And Tim Curry is an excellent performer.
Mhm.
So, I mean, there were a number of times when he would bust out with a voice, and I found it hilarious.
Oh, his laughing, his forced laughing when he's doing when they're at the nephew's house, when the ghost takes Scrooge to the nephew's house, and he has to act out this uproarious laughter, and it was great.
He did-
Yeah, and I particularly enjoyed his voices of the people. Once we go into the future with the spirit of Christmas is yet to be, and we see the businessmen sort of stopping and talking about, oh, did you hear? You know, he died. His voices for those people were hilarious. Like, oh, yeah, I heard he died. Yeah, whatever. You
And
know,
how
and
good
it-
we make it
I
this
took his
way.
bed curtain right off the thing while he was laying there. You bet, baby. I mean, I'm not going to do the voice, but yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did a really good job, for sure.
Yeah, Scrooge was a little slow on the uptake there, though, to realize that all of those people happen to be talking about him.
I know. I could have, like, dude.
It was his Christmas ghost past, his Christmas ghost present, and the Christmas ghost future. Why wouldn't he have immediately caught on?
Yeah.
They were talking about him.
Well, present wasn't completely him.
Well, it was about him, but everybody was talking about him.
But it was
at
in
some
his
point.
purview, though, right?
Yeah,
It was
but
about,
I mean, you know, at a
about the
certain
people
point,
in his circle.
didn't they just go into the marketplace, and weren't there people just excited for Christmas Eve dinner and stuff? I mean, I don't think that everybody
you're
was
right. Yeah.
necessarily all about him. But yeah, at a certain point when he had the opportunity to go look under the sheet and see who the corpse was, and then somehow he didn't seem to recognize any of these people who, well, I guess he wouldn't have known the Undertaker, but shouldn't he have known the people who like were his
housekeeper,
housekeeper or his laundress, or I mean, right?
Apparently not.
But maybe he doesn't, because he doesn't really give a shit about them. They're just
Maybe.
there.
There's
But yeah,
certain.
he still should have figured it out. He still should.
Yeah, because I mean, at first you have sort of a notion of, well, maybe this is, you know, several years into the future. Maybe he hasn't met these people yet.
Right.
But then you see the Cratchits, and it's like, oh, well, obviously Tiny Tim is still very small, and now he's dead. So I don't think a lot of time has passed at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you're absolutely right. It is tragic that there are so many people who would basically have to be scared into not being a dick to people. And maybe that's another thing that this book is really successful at doing, because, for the most part, I have frequently felt that organized religion in general is just sort of a way to scare people into doing the things that they want them to do. So you sort of threaten them with eternal fire and damnation, and they're like, oh, well, I better give 10%, and I better do blah blah blah, and I have to do such and such, and now I've got to go and go to the Salvation Army and do X, Y, and Z, or I don't want to burn in hell. So somehow this manages the same outcome, but there's no threat of eternal damnation, just, other than walking around with miles and miles of chains.
Yeah, as a miserable ghost.
Which brings up another question. So the narrator wasn't the narrator was a narrator's spirit also, because at one point he says something about, and I'm close to you, a spirit next to your arm, or something like that. Doesn't he? Did either of you catch that?
No.
Wait, say it again.
I don't remember exactly what he said, but he was talking about how the spirits might have been next to him or something, and as close as I am to you right now, or something. There was something I can't remember.
Yeah, it does sound familiar. Yeah.
So I was wondering. So is the narrator a spirit also, who just witnessed all of this and is telling us the story? I don't know.
I just kind of got sort of a general third-person omniscient POV.
That's what I thought at first, until that one comment about standing next to me.
And really, it almost kind of felt like The Grinch, right? Where you have, is it Bela Lugosi who narrates that, and he, gets into the hole, and his heart grew 3 sizes that day. It kind of felt like that to me. But yeah,
that wasn't Karloff?
What?
The narrator wasn't Karloff?
Oh, yeah. I guess I picked the wrong
Dracula.
The wrong horror movie star. Yeah, you're right. But yeah, no, I just sort of got a sense for it was just a third person omniscient.
All right.
So
next time you listen, see if you catch that line and see if that changes anything for you.
All right.
Okay.
Maybe.
So ultimately, we're glad we listened to it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always good when you hear something done really well.
Yeah.
So you take a story that was written really well, and you get a guy who narrates it really well, and it's hard to be bad.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, so we need to start thinking of, we've got Susan Maher coming next month, so we need to start thinking of a February book. I don't give a shit if it has to do with Valentine's Day.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah, so we learned our lesson from last Valentine's Day, because that movie, or that book sucked.
He sat on her toilet!
Oh, my God, isn't that right?
That's still kind of the part that comes back to me every now and again, is that horrible toilet scene that I just can't get past.
Oh, the best part about that book was us ripping it apart.
Well, that's true.
That was a lot of fun. Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Well, we could go back and do that steampunk one that we almost did.
Oh, the Aeronauts Windlass.
Yeah.
We could do that. You want to do that? My eye's twitching.
I
was thinking about that damn Cupid book.
God, no, I twitch. Yeah, let's talk about that offline.
All right, then.
Oh, okay.
That means Emily's not really into that.
That doesn't sound encouraging from my perspective.
I started listening to it. Let's talk about that offline.
Okay.
All right, then.
Woo! So I think that's the extent of our holiday show, y'all.
Well, Merry Christmas, everybody!
Merry Christmas!
And for some of you, have a ho, ho, ho. I'm just saying, enjoy yourselves for the holidays. And be careful and come back and join us on the 13th of January when we talk to Susan Maher. Her new book. Yeah, you know you're going to want it. You know it. Okay.
Do you remember what it's called? Don't look it up. Oh, yeah, okay.
I need another drink clearly because I can remember. All right, have a good holiday.
All right, everybody. Goodbye.